Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. We'll start by 7:35. Let's wait while others join. Welcome you all. A very good evening to all. We will start the session soon. Thank you for joining.
I hope both our guests have joined.
Good evening, Sunita. Good evening, Mini.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Sudhindra, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Dr. 𝗍𝗍𝗘, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, shall we start?
Yes, we'll start. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's time. Yeah. Okay, please.
A very good evening to all. On behalf of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Kerala Joint Chapter, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural edition of ProTalk series, Conversations That Inspire. The IEEE Professional Communication Society is dedicated to advancing excellence in technical and professional communication, empowering engineers and professionals to communicate ideas across diverse audiences. Complementing this mission is the IEEE TEMS, which focuses on developing engineering leaders capable of transforming innovative ideas into impactful products, services, and organizations while bridging technology with management and leadership. Together, these two societies create a platform where technical excellence meets communication, innovation, and leadership. Today's event is particularly significant as we officially inaugurate the ProTalk series, a new initiative envisioned to bring together thought leaders, innovators, researchers, and professionals through meaningful conversations that inspire learning, leadership, and innovation. We are delighted to organize ProTalk series in collaboration with IEEE GEC Thrissur, IEEE Maize, IEEE St. Kitts, and IEEE TalkEdge. A special welcome to all our distinguished speakers, esteemed IEEE leaders, respected faculty members, professionals, researchers, students, and all participants joining us from the different parts of the country. Let's start our event, and for the presidential address, let me invite Dr. Mini Ulanath, Chair of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Kerala Joint Chapter. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bridget. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Thank you. So good evening, and it's my proud privilege as a chair of ProComm and TEMS Joint Chapter to welcome all of you for this inaugural flagship series, ProTalk, Conversations That Inspire. So as all of you know that in today's rapidly evolving landscape, tech expertise alone is not enough, Success depends on the ability to communicate effectively, lead with a purpose, collaborate with across the disciplines, and continuous learning from the experience of others. That's what we are really looking forward to, So through this series, we hope to create a platform where professionals, research scholars, students, entrepreneurs, industry leaders, everybody can engage in a meaningful conversations that really inspire the innovation as what we are really looking forward to, And I'm really delighted as we are launching this with two eminent leaders, Dr. 𝗜𝗘𝗘𝗘, President, who has graciously agreed to deliver the inaugural keynote. His leadership and contributions have inspired many professionals, and I'm equally privileged to welcome Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘, who is the Secretary of TEMS, who will be setting stage with an introductory details. Extremely thankful on behalf of the chapter, Dr. Sudhindra and Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘. So, on behalf of the joint chapter, I extend my sincere gratitude to our distinguished speakers, as well as I thank all the participants. I'm so happy to see that we are close to 100. We have got 19, 94, 95. Yeah, it's going up, which is very good, which is a very good sign for the online event. I'm sure that the speakers are really going to keep us engaged. And as we begin this journey, I invite each of you not only to listen, but also to engage, reflect, and be inspired. And please take back from what. So may this ProTalk series be a vibrant start that sparks numerous ideas. And we have, as I told you, the right people to initiate this, as well as who can really keep us engaged. So as one of the vibrant IEEE sections globally, IEEE Kerala section has constantly fostered technical excellence, professional growth, innovation, and I'm sure that TEMS will act as a bridge, unique bridge between the technical excellence as well as in the management. I don't want to take too much of time. Yeah, we have crossed 100. Yeah, it's very nice. So I'm sure that people are eagerly waiting for your your speech. So let us listen to them. And once again, welcome Dr. Sudhindra and 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘, and also all the participants. And let this be a very good start for the coming series. Thank you.
Thank you.
And over to you, Bridget. Welcome.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am, for inspiring words and setting a wonderful tone for the evening. Now, let me invite Professor Sunitha B.V.K., Vice Chair of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Kerala chapter, to present our distinguished guests to the audience. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Bridget. So very nice to see both of you, 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘 and Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘 here. So as Dr. Mini has told, we have two very special guests, both the President and Secretary of IEEE TEMS. What else we want? Thank you very much, both of you, for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much. So now I will introduce both of you. So first I will introduce Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘. She is an engineering educator, researcher, and IEEE senior member with over 2 decades of experience in advancing engineering education, leadership development, and technology for social impact. She is an associate professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata, a university gold medalist at both UG and PG levels. She earned her PhD from 𝗣𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘 University. And Dr. Kar is an accomplished IEEE volunteer, currently serves as Secretary and Women in Engineering Division of the IEEE TEMS and chairing both the IEEE Women in TEMS Committee and the Future Tech Expo's Presidential Ad Hoc Committee. Also, her service portfolio includes leadership in many global committees of IEEE. So she is a passionate advocate for women in engineering, STEM education, and humanitarian technology. In recognition of her outstanding volunteer leadership and humanitarian contributions, she has been recognized with many awards like 2025 Art and HT Outstanding Volunteer Award and Try Engineering STEM Champion Award. Thank you so much, Dr. Kar. A lot of other things to say, but I am stopping with this. So thank you so much, Dr. Kar, for accepting our invitation and agreeing to me for giving an introductory talk for TEMS. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Sunita ma'am. I'm really humbled by the invitation to introduce TEMS to the august audience today. It is so heartening to see over 100 participants in an online meeting. This is so rare, and it is very exciting to be able to present TEMS in front of so many eager volunteers. Thank you for organizing this, Sunita ma'am. Thank you, Minnie ma'am, for the kind introduction and for organizing this as well. So without taking too much time, I'll just share my presentation.
Ma'am, before that, I will introduce Sudhindra sir also.
Yes, please go on. Please.
Okay, thank you. So Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘 is the president of IEEE TEMS and a globally recognized innovation leader, consultant and educator with over 3 decades of experience in technology, engineering, and innovation management. He is volunteering in many committees of IEEE and brings deep institutional knowledge and a strong commitment to advancing the mission of IEEE TEMS. Academically distinguished, Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘 holds a PhD in Innovation and Innovation Talent Management, an MBA in Marketing from IIM Kozhikode. So at IIM Kozhikode, he was a student of my friend, Dr. Unnikrishnan, my batchmate. And a PG in Strategic Management and a UG in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Also had a certification in Business Management from Management Center Europe, and he is a fellow of IEA. And his professional journey spans global organizations including BPL, Philips, NXP, Semiconductors, HCL, Prestige, and Volvo. And he is currently the founder and chief innovator at Innovation by Design, advancing organization on building innovation cultures, developing innovation and managing innovation ecosystem across domains. And then 50 patents to his name, and Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘 has facilitates over 1,500 innovation sessions and engaged more than 15,000 innovation and a lot. I cannot read all, that will take the session itself. So I am stopping here, sir. And one thing I have to say, I have an induction cooker, a Prestige induction cooker. So whenever I use that induction cooker, I remember you. The story I think you will tell. The story that I think you will tell.
I will try to tell today also. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you for the kind introduction.
This is the
Sunita.
4th session I am attending, yours 4th session. So in each
Hope you're not
session,
getting bored today.
Motivated. So I think all of the attendees will enjoy. Really, I can say it will be a feast for you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Over to Bridget.
Thank you, ma'am, for the gracious introduction of our esteemed dignitaries. We shall now move to the next segment of today's program. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. 𝗘𝗘𝗘, Secretary of IEEE TEMS, to deliver the introductory talk on transforming expertise into influence. This session will explore how technical expertise can be transformed into meaningful leadership and lasting impact. Ma'am, we are honored to have you with us. The virtual dais is now yours. Over to you, ma'am.
Before 𝗘𝗘𝗘 starts, I would just like to add, apart from secretary, she's also the chair of the 𝗣 committee. So she has a women in technology. So I invite all the women in technology to pay special attention to what she's going to say.
Sure. I have I informed that also in the introduction part. Okay.
So is the slide visible?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And I agree with Sunita ma'am that the next talk is going to be a feast for everyone. So it's very hard to say something before Sudhindra sir. It's a great responsibility that I have. I'll try to do a little bit of justice to that by introducing TEMS to you. As ma'am has already said that I am serving as the secretary and also as the 𝗣 liaison. So I'll be giving a little bit of introduction to that as well. So today I'm going to talk about how to transform expertise into influence. So that's what I'm going to discuss today. So all of us gathered here, I assume would be in various stages of their career. Some of you might be student, UG students. Some of you might be doing your PG. Some of you might be professionals who are just into their jobs, and some of you might be experienced professionals. So I think that TEMS will come in handy for each one of you. And today I'm going to discuss how TEMS can play a role in your life to take your career goals forward. So essentially, TEMS is formed to bridge the gap between academia, industry, and the government. Basically, TEMS helps professionals to turn their expertise in whatever domain they are working in, be it electronics, be it computer science, be it any form, any discipline of engineering, be it management. So what we do essentially is we learn a particular trade, right? So in order to go from learning a trade into application of that, okay, that is where TEMS comes in handy. So we will see how TEMS can help you in your career growth by various features that TEMS has to offer. So the slide isn't moving. I'm going to take a moment here. Yes. So our journey in our professional life is as if we are climbing from a base camp to the top of the mountain. That is what we all like to do, right? We all want to achieve something in our life. In order to go from our base camp to the top of the mountain, that is to the peak of our career, how can we use TEMS? That is what we are going to discuss today. When we are at the base camp, we build the expertise. We study in our colleges. Once we are into our job, we do training sessions and we build our knowledge, we build our skills. And by applying those skills, we build experience. Once we come to know about various technical skills, we try to share those ideas, we try to communicate with people, and we try to be visible to the community. Once we do that, we go further along in our career by creating connections, by building networks, by collaborating with people. Next, we become leaders, we lead initiatives, we volunteer in various activities. And finally, at the end of it all, we try to inspire others by shaping decisions, and we try to create a legacy. That is what we call influence. So in order to transform from expertise to influence, we will see how TEMS can help you in creating your visibility, in creating connections, in becoming a leader, and finally influence the next generation. TEMS publications is one of the ways that you can create visibility. Whatever research you're doing in your individual domains, you could publish them using TEMS publications. So TEMS publishes IEEE transactions in engineering management. Then there is the EMR, Engineering Management Review. And also there's something called the leadership briefs. So you could publish your work and that will give you visibility. So that is one way how TEMS can help you to reach out to the global audience. TEMS organizes global conferences. So one we recently had, TEMSCon Latam, which was in Quito, Ecuador. The ones that are coming up are TEMSCon Global. We have TEMSCon ASPAC in Gujarat in the month of October. Then we have TEMSMET in Hyderabad and also ICAI TEMS in Italy. in the month of October. These are just a few of the conferences that TEMS organizes. So this is going to give you a fine platform to reach out to the global audience with whatever work you're doing in this particular conference. You can obviously choose to volunteer in those conferences and get to know people throughout the globe who are working in your domain. So there are 12 plus international conferences globally as of now, where 100 plus countries are being represented. And of course, there are thousands of participants every year who get to collaborate, innovate, and transform. TEMS has got something called TEMS Education, where TEMS organizes global student competition. One is on the way right now, so you can visit the website and catch the global student competition. I'm sure student members are here, they'll be interested in it. Then we've got online courses, you could be a part of the online courses. Of course, we organize webinars and workshops, which you could be a part of. You could be a facilitator, you could be a resource person, you could also be an audience to learn new tricks of the trade. We've got TEMS Radio. Please do connect to TEMS Radio. I will be sharing the website link with you once at the end of this talk. So please connect there, and you will be able to see some fantastic resources in TEMS Radio. So you could upgrade your learning, your expertise in order to reach your final goal, which is influence. I'll come to that. TEMS organizes technical activities. So you will be able to see in our website also details of distinguished lecture programs. So we have very eminent speakers who are DLs. As of now, we are proud to say that the TEMS president, Mary Ellen Randall, the president-elect, Jill Gostin, both of them are distinguished lecturers in TEMS. And also we have got other fantastic speakers like G.V. Karanavira, who speaks about metaverse. So we have got fantastic speakers. You could invite them over to your chapter and organize a talk. TEMS will be happy to sponsor that. Apart from that, we have got something called AI for Technology Management, and there's something called the Smart Cities Collaboration. So TEMS is into all of that. So you could please refer to the website and see how you can be a part of it. All of these features of TEMS would help you to reach out to the global community through something that I call the ripple effect. So your expertise in whatever domain you're working in would be the first drop in the pond, say, and it'll create the first ripple. So your expertise is just the beginning, but I believe that your responsibility as a technical expert is not only for yourself, but it has to be meaningful for the entire community. Only then life becomes meaningful, right? Because we all want to leave a legacy. So once you gain your knowledge and you have your expertise, the second ripple, I believe, is service, where you could act as a volunteer, you could act as a mentor, you could organize a seminar, a talk like this perhaps, and you could reach out to people with your expertise. You could give a project idea to a fellow colleague or to a student perhaps. That would be service, and that would be meaningful. And in doing so, maybe the third ripple could be reached, where you have reached out to the community and you have solved a particular problem through the TEMS platform, and you have reached out to people, solve their day-to-day problems using your technical expertise and knowledge. And with that, you could also form partnerships between academia, industry, and the government, which is something that TEMS wants to do and also does on a regular basis. And also it engages with entrepreneurs. So if you can do that, if you can create partnerships, that will amplify collaborations. And finally, that will go on to cause a global impact. If you can help one student to dream of a life where the technical expertise of the student can be used for greater good, if you can mentor one student or a volunteer so that that can be applied in the career of that particular student, I feel that it creates a global impact. You could reach out to the bigger community, and thus by serving the community through the TEMS platform, you can multiply your expertise and reach out to the greater audience. And as I said at the beginning, that brings me to Women in TEMS. We have several women in our audience today. I would welcome all of them to be part of the Women in TEMS community that we have. Here, we believe in TEMS that women don't specifically need any hand-holding. They're very capable, but there are specific issues that women face in their professional life, in their student life. So women can help other women in order to overcome those problems. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can learn from each other. That is exactly what Women in TEMS is aiming to do. We have several initiatives, but this is a very special initiative, which is the IEEE TEMS Women in Engineering Spotlight. We want to celebrate excellence. So soon we'll be rolling out a call where I would ask you to nominate your colleague, your friend, you know, who is a great woman leader and whose achievements need to be celebrated. We'll be happy to do that. Apart from this, Women in TEMS organizes talks and panel discussions, and also we help in elevation from member to senior membership and to fellow. So we have all these initiatives, and we also organize tracks in various conferences and events. My journey already, Sunita ma'am has explained, talked a lot about, so I will not go into details, but myself personally, I have been a part of IEEE since my undergraduate days. So right when I started off with my UG education as a student of electronics and communication engineering, I was a part of IEEE. I went on to become a professional member. At the section level, I engaged with the EDS, Electronic Devices Society, and then I also worked with the side group, with Inter-Council MOVE initiative, with the Tri-Engineering initiative, and that led me to the global initiative where I worked regarding the Future Tech Explorers Challenge that many of you know of, and also in the Educational Activities Board. And finally, I have come today, after my journey, to speak in front of all of you, over 100 of you. So that is how I have tried to reach a place of influence, perhaps, if I may dare to call it so. But TEMS has given me that opportunity. I'm very thankful for that. I would love all of you to begin your journey with TEMS. If you already haven't, please join TEMS. Transform your expertise into influence, reach out to the bigger community, the global community, get involved and make a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the insightful and inspiring session. We sincerely appreciate your time and valuable perspectives you shared of IEEE TEMS and the many opportunities it offers for professional growth, leadership, and career development. Now, we arrive at the highlight of today's program, the formal inauguration of the ProTalk series, Conversations that. Continuing from the introduction of our esteemed keynote speaker, it is my honor to invite Dr. 𝗍𝗘𝗘 President of IEEE Technology and Engineering Management Society and Chief Innovator and Founder of Innovation by Design. Renowned for his contribution to innovation, design thinking, and engineering leadership, Dr. 𝗍𝗘𝗘 has been instrumental in empowering professionals and researchers to transform ideas into meaningful impact. At a time when artificial intelligence is redefining the way we conduct research, innovate, and solve complex challenges, we look forward to gaining valuable insights from his vast experience and visionary leadership. It is my honor to invite Dr. 𝗍𝗘𝗘 to inaugurate the ProTalk series and deliver the keynote address on AI for research and innovation. Over to you, sir.
And thank you, Brigitte. So let me share my screen. Allow to share screen, and then so are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So it's first of all, it's an honor, a privilege to start this discussion and this series. Special thanks to Sunita and many whom I know for many years. Actually, you also inspire a lot of us as well. So thanks to you for keeping us in mind and helping us to share what we think is useful to all of you. And thank you, 𝗘𝗘𝗘, for setting the stage so nicely that yeah, I can now build on what you just talked about, how and why. Now I can talk about a little bit about the what of it as well. What I have done is I have structured my talk a little bit around research and innovation, because that's the common piece with or without AI, and then the play of AI as well. I don't know how much time, but we can quickly go to Q&A after that. And I liked what Sunita said. I request you to reflect on some of those topics, maybe make some notes the old-fashioned way with a pen and paper. I got one myself here, so I keep advocating the benefits of writing down compared to typing it, of course. So, and I give you a couple of hints what I think you should be able to do. There are a couple of TEDx talks. If you were to get bored sometime, and if you want to get more bored, you can watch these two. One is from Before AI 2018, talking about innovation and how to be one world-class innovator. And last year, I kind of tweaked it with the role of AI as well, some of which I'll share today. So I have some weird hobbies, and I'll skip that for now. But let me talk about research first. From a research perspective, the whole concept is that there is an existing body of knowledge. 𝗘𝗘𝗘 did research, I did research, many did research, many of you did research. The collective knowledge is the body of knowledge that exists. And then somebody wants to do a new research, or even a PhD based on research. There is a tiny drop that you want to add to the existing body of knowledge. Now, this body of knowledge, as we knew, has been added with another piece of knowledge, however big, small, it doesn't matter. And that is the new knowledge. Now, sometimes this new knowledge is in isolation. What do I mean by that? That means we create new knowledge for the sake of new knowledge. And I'll tell you why that may not be the smartest way to do where we stand today. And that might be our starting point for the discussion today. So if research is adding new knowledge, innovation is making that new as useful. Now, this is where the turning point and the anchor that I want to talk about is new is okay. Based on the resources that we have, the tools that we have, and the IQ that is going up, except for the next generation, it's going down because of AI, the cognitive ability, usefulness remains the key. This is what Edison spoke about. This is what market speaks about. This is what the business wants as well. So when you look at three aspects, the known part, existing body of knowledge, a researcher's new input, that is a new part, and the usefulness, this is what we already have, right? As we talk about new things, typically, classically, the research community treats new knowledge as a publication, perhaps leading to PhD. Mostly, but not always. So the end is the publication of a new knowledge. If you want to be the next generation leaders, researchers who can create an impact, you got to go beyond that. Whatever publication, whatever research you have come up with has to go beyond and not stop at being just new, but you have to make sure that it is useful. Go back 3 decades. There was a publication made at that time about carbon composite material. It was new. The material was stronger than aluminum. It was lighter than aluminum. That was it, if I just put it very simply. Now, that new knowledge was in a publication. It was a paper published, right? But the impact was the usefulness of that material. Dreamliner is an aircraft, some of you would know. 95% of the body of Dreamliner is made up of that new material. So if the blue line was not there, it was a piece of paper. And I always joke that, earlier it used to be physical copy of thesis which would gather dust. Now there are digital copies, even there is no dust on it. Nobody even know that it exists. So you got to go till making it useful as well as a researcher. Especially the young researchers who are getting into this domain or already in it, make sure, tweak it and get upgraded to the fact that your research should be useful as well. Because when you look at why it should be useful, only useful things can be monetized. Only useful things can be made into a startup or a business. Before I give you the connection, there are three ways. Either it becomes a new product. Like I said, a Dreamliner is a new product made out of carbon composite material. Or which you deal with a generative AI tool, a ChatGPT, right? Or a Claude or whatever it is. And then there's a third category, which is still nascent and which is still a very small niche thing, is the conceptual one, where you create a patent. You may not make a service, you cannot make a product out of it. You may just think of a way to measure glucose, a way to measure fatigue of a person by sensing temperature, for example. I'm just saying something. So these are concepts that will come up as an output of your research. But till you don't make it a product, till you don't make it a service, you cannot. An oximeter is a product that was coming out of a concept that, you can measure the blood flow and through the non-invasive method through the finger, you can come up with the oxygen level of the blood. So when you look at your research, one of the biggest things is there are a lot of things that are existing problems. You can come up with your own solution. There could be n number of solutions existing. Let's take the glucometer example that I mentioned. There is a way to measure glucose with a blood sample in a laboratory, with a prick on a glucometer at home, maybe a patch on your arm, maybe a wristband on your as a marker. You can come up with your own solution as well. Nothing wrong. So this what is the same and the how can be different for your innovation, for your research. But bear in mind the rate at which things are changing. It could be that the problem itself has become a move to a new problem. So the old problem is practically irrelevant today. That means your research problem should not be focused on finding a new how, but your research problem should be able to find a new how to the new problem statement. Why this is important is, this is a sheet I would like you to keep in mind and make a note of it. Outcome. X-axis is the research problem. Okay, the known research and known solution is business as usual. We don't talk about it. Zone 1 is new solutions that I talked just about for known problems. Zone 2 and 3 is where I want you to focus. These are new problems that are coming up. If an autonomous car comes, there are new problems that comes with it. An autonomous car doesn't have a steering, doesn't have a driver. So if it meets with an accident when it's coming to pick me up, who will go to jail? The car cannot go to jail. What will they do keeping the car in the jail? It will not even protest. So new problems are coming up and that will need new solutions as well. Your research should be in zone 2 and 3. Ideally 3, because the risk is high in 3 the most and the reward is also very high as well. So look at problems that would come up in the coming 3 years, 5 years, etc. as well. It also means that your effort and the impact you create are not correlated positively. It could be a small improvement with a large effort. It could be a large disruption with a small effort. Okay, so actually it doesn't matter at all how much effort you put in. It's not a linear input-output process here. What impact you can create is dependent on the scale of what it can change in how people live or how people work. So the utility is the key. It's not about there is a right research problem, there is a wrong research problem, or there is a right innovation, wrong innovation. It's always about how you deal with something that is useful. People buy useful things. People don't buy useless things. That also means that everybody will not find everything useful. I might buy a certain car. Somebody else might buy another car, or somebody might buy a Tresemme. I just don't care which shampoo as long as I get something coming out of liquid on my hand. So usefulness is very contextual. So you need to know your research problem means who is having the problem is part of your research as well. Now, if you connect all these things, research comes up with something new. Innovation converts that into making it useful. Go back to Edison time. Research at that point of time said if you pass electricity to a thin filament, it will become red hot and glow, giving light. Imagine that was the time there was no light. Electricity bulb was not there. And You cannot give everybody a wire and ask them to pass electricity through it because you cannot hold it without getting, shocked out of it. So the bulb was a useful conversion of that knowledge, which in today's world can become a startup. So somebody will try a new LED, somebody will try a bioluminescence from a fish, from a blue ocean economy point of view. Startups promise growth. Startup promise wealth. So I always joke that sometimes startups can be unicorn, otherwise it's a popcorn. It just goes away. It doesn't do anything. It comes and it goes. We have close to 200,000 startups, and on an average, about 90% of them fail because it doesn't work. That usefulness is got wrong. If it becomes successful, then it becomes a big business. Then suddenly that it makes more money, and there is a feedback loop to fund more research, more innovation, and so that more startups can come and the whole cycle tries to continue. Now, this is important for two reasons. Everybody in this chain, research needs innovation, startup, and business. Business needs startup, innovation, and research. Innovation needs research and business. So nobody can do anything alone. I think it was Minnie who said this. You have to work together. Today's world, working together is one of the biggest skills that you can ever put in your resume. I mean, you cannot put in your resume, but you should be able to demonstrate. When I was in Volvo, my group CEO used to say, partnership is the new leadership. You don't have time to do everything yourself. You can't do everything yourself in time. So work with everybody. Being in this call, what 𝗘𝗘𝗘 said is network. Talk to people. Make some connections that you didn't have before. Talk to people who have nothing to do with the kind of work or research that you do. Don't talk to the same kind of people that are into your work. Talk to people who are different kind of work as well. Now, this will lead to something called technology. Now, Sunita has already made me realize that I have to tell this story, so I'm going to tell this story. Technology is different. I learned rather late in my life versus benefits of technology. So those who have heard this story, bear with me, but I can't repeat it enough times because it doesn't get the importance that I feel it should. When I was in 2015, I was vice president. I was asked in TTK Prestige, I was asked to come up with an IoT product. Why IoT product? At that time, IoT was like AI today. IoT was the solution for everything, the panacea. So I was feeling somewhere maybe IoT-based home product is too much. But they said, no, you have to come up with it. Otherwise, accept you cannot. So ego. I said, oh, I'm vice president, blah, blah, blah. So I made an induction cooktop with a phone-controlled induction cooktop. So that was my IoT. So I made a prototype. I took it to my mother, who is my guinea pig. She's 8th standard pass, but very smart. So that day changed how my life as a technologist I imagined and how it is today. So in my house, in kitchen, I kept the prototype. On the left side was the connection and everything. I put in the plug. Right side was my mother. So I took out my phone and I started opening the app and everything. And finally, after 5, 7, 8 minutes, I found something and I pressed the button and the induction cooktop switched on. And that was lovely for me as a technologist. Wow. And I looked at my mother, who is totally disgustingly disinterested, looking at the ceiling, not at me. So I was asking her, look, it's exciting. She said, why? Because I switched on using the phone. She said, so what? You're standing in front of it. You could have switched on long ago. You didn't need 8 minutes to do that. Just one arm extension and it would have switched on. That made me literally get shocked, thrashed by 8th standard. And this PhD guy was looking up and down. What's going on? Then I had to come back, right? So with my ego. So I was going to China 2 days later. So I told her, I'm going to China and I can switch on from there. Then she asked, why would you do that? I have to make an ISD call and you will switch on from China. Take this rubbish away. I was flabbergasted because I had thought I was on the cloud 9 using latest technology. And here is one lady who is making it 2-0 score line. So I thought a lot about it. Then I realized technology is different. A Corning Gorilla Glass is a technology. The benefit of Gorilla Glass technology is scratch resistant. So if you want to tell to the same lady, my mother, about Gorilla Glass, I don't have to tell about the technology. I can say, this phone, you will not scratch easily. This has lithium polymer 4200 milliampere battery is technology. But she needs to know, with your usage, you can charge it once in 2 days. So benefits of your research, you need to focus on. So just to complete the story, so then I took 6 months. Then I made another induction cooktop this time. where the technology was old. Okay, so this product still sells, where you keep a pressure cooker on this induction cooktop, and you can set number of whistles from 1 to 15. So any number of whistles you set, say 6 whistles, after 6 whistles of the cooker, the induction cooktop switches off. And this my mother still uses. Why? Not because of technology, but because of the benefits of technology. So that's the one that Sunita mentioned earlier in the discussion. So that helped a lot of fuel saving as well, because otherwise the men in the house is given the task, hey, switch off after 4 whistles, and he's happily watching India match or IPL or something, and he doesn't know. And then suddenly one whistle goes, and it sounds as exactly as the first and the 7th sound the same. There is no difference. So there's a lot of issues that have been solved, and a lot of men have been thankful to me, and women also has been. So these are the kind of issues you need to deal with your research and technology, focusing on the benefits of technology. So coming back to today's, then it was IoT, now it is AI. If you give the scans of brain to people, doctors, oncologists specifically, who detect where is a tumor, if any, the success rate is 80%. That means if you give 100 scans manually for oncologists to check, 80% of them get it right. 20% can be wrong. But if you make a machine learning algorithm and make it learn to detect tumors, the accuracy goes from 80% manual to 99.6%. Now that is use of technology. I don't need to know AI. I need to know as a doctor, as a patient, that this is more accurate than the old method that I have. So you need to push your research, making sure there is an impact, there is a landing point which helps humanity. The tagline of IEEE is just not for the sake of a tagline. It literally means what we say and walk the talk. Advancing technology for humanity is, if blockchain is a technology, what does it do to humanity? If AI is a technology, what does it do to humanity? That's where the play of TEMS is. Applying technology is the business of TEMS. So what you heard from 𝗜𝗘𝗘 and a little bit from me later is that this is where the success and this is where the future is, right? So technology does not guarantee impact of your research. You might come up with anything new, but until you can apply that technology for benefit, the impact is not felt. Suppose I said I was working with Volvo Group, and one of the problems that we have is to detect driver fatigue. So usually the current technology is facial, camera based. His eyes are closed, but if somebody is like me, my eyes is always closed, and if I smile, it is completely closed. So you cannot use that as a basis to make a decision. But I know now in life sciences there are biomarkers. There are certain chemicals that go up when there is a fatigue. So that can be much more useful technology to apply in this case, rather than just, like I said, TEMS is completely in this area. So it can be any tech. It need not be IEEE electrical and electronics, agri-tech, med-tech, fintech, any kind of tech which has a benefit and an impact can be part of TEMS. So there are a couple of impact that I want you to realize. Commercial impact, you want to monetize. Social impact, you want to create welfare, right? Social schemes, for example, 𝗜𝗘𝗘 I think mentioned about HTB, for example, there is not profit, but there is money involved. Don't confuse the two. Money is involved, but profit is not the goal. Welfare is the goal. A solar plant somewhere, somebody gets a drinking water plant. Commercial is what companies solve to monetize their impact. So when you do your research, you should understand where you want your impact of your research to be. It can be in either, it can be in both. But it cannot be confused that you're in social and you're expecting money, you're commercial and you're looking at welfare. If it is commercial, you got to make sure it is monetized. Which brings me to this XY axis. X-axis is novelty, Y-axis is utility. Your publication of research need not be useful. You will still get a PhD. You will maybe even get a promotion as well. Sorry for being black and white, because that's what it is. I'm also in the industry and academia part. If you want to create innovation which leads to impact, then it has to make utility as a part of the outcome as well. Both can be patented. Don't confuse again. Patent can be for publication concept also. Patent can be for a product or service also. So just because you have a publication, just because you have a patent, doesn't mean you have created an innovation for impact. That means you should always look at a high utility, even if it is low novelty, or of course, a kind of high utility with high novelty. But if you look at low utility, you might maximum get is a publication. Of course, if both are new, you'll just get your PhD, not even a good outcome of your research. So every innovation and research that you create need not be patented. Okay. There are good, impactful business ideas, business innovations that are not patented. There are many patents which are not used in business. So I just want you to remember this graph, because sometimes you might think just because your outcome is not patented doesn't mean it's useless. It can be perfectly useful as well. Repeating what I want you to think, just keep this graph in your mind. Even if it is less novel, it doesn't matter. It cannot be less useful. It has to be more useful than it is novel. It is more novel, more useful, all the good. But if it is not useful and a very, very novel, it is still a piece of paper. Impact comes from utility, not from only novelty, right? So if you look at this, why it comes so, a business impact is always in the strength of the problem you solve. You pick a research problem, not that is easy to do research, but that is difficult to do research, because the business has a impact that is going to be created. What is right may not be easy. What is easy may not be right. But the success, if you have to have an impact that is measured as success, you need to have a good problem statement as well, and they are correlated. So remember this zone again. I want to make you to realize this. This 1, 2, 3 is your play area, especially 2 and 3. In that 3, even more. So solution strength, problem strength. You can have no impact if you have a good solution for a bad problem. You can have a low impact if you have a very good solution for a weak problem. So make sure your problem is stronger and the solution is also strong. Sometimes you have a very big, strong problem, but the solution is weak. Don't get disheartened. It is better to have a poor, weak solution to a strong problem than to have a strong solution for a weak problem, because weak problem is a no-go. The 2 reds are weak problems. Orange, you can push to green. And when you are green, you are going to be a winner as well. So what about AI? AI is going to help you differentiate what you can and what you should do. The key is this again, there is an overlap. That means there are things that AI does. There are things that AI cannot do. As we speak, it is not yet established how AI can be supporting the creative functions of what we do. It is not confirmed at all. Second, AI is going to resynthesize information. It cannot create new information. It can create based on existing information. And that's what human cognitive ability starts with. Logic takes you from one known to another known. That's what AI does. Intuition, which is the innate human ability, takes from one known to an unknown. So Archimedes, when he got into the bathtub, he did not have Archimedes' principle in his hand. The intuitive flash that mass and volume are connected gave that intuitive flash, which became, that unknown became a known once he proved the theorem. Same with Newton. The apple falling, he did not have Newton's first law, second law, third law ready when he was sitting in Princeton. The concept that something is pulling down was the new known, which was an unknown to him at that time. For us, because he made the theorems, did the experiments and proved it, it became a new known to us. So intuition is not going to be supported by AI. It is still your ability. But the biggest hindrance for intuition is our inability to be still without using this device called phone. If there is no WhatsApp message, we get uneasy. If there is no Facebook likes, we get uncomfortable. If there is nothing happening, we check if the phone is alive, dead, battery is gone, network is there. We are hyper anxious about what is happening outside our head. So if you want to use AI, it is like a tool. A fool with a tool is still a fool. It is just like a knife. You can cut tomato, you can cut throat. It depends on how you want to use it. On one side, you start with nothing. 10, 20, 30 years ago, we started with unassisted innovation. Then we got internet, we got etc. We got some assistance to make innovation faster. So we can do a research problem faster, we can do a consumer check faster, etc. The middle line is where we are today with AI. On the other side of AI, adaptive innovation. Keyword here is adaptive. You are the master. AI is the tool that the master will use at his discretion. The slave is AI here. The master is the innovator and the researcher. As we stand today, this is all we can do. And I'll give a quick impact of this. If we go further than this, there is something that's going to happen called artificial innovation. That means the hallucination of AI is going to create artificial things which do not exist in reality, which cannot exist in first principles of the real world. So it is going to be an artificial innovation. While on one side, on the left side, Decision support systems are new research-based outcome. On the right side, you can have decision system. For example, an emergency braking system in a car takes the decision to brake the car even if the driver today does not decide to brake, seeing an obstacle in front. A decision support system is like a Google Maps. You ask for point A to point B, it will give you an option. This route is the fastest, there is another alternative route. You make the decision. So a decision support system is much more easier compared to a decision system. But the play of AI can help make more decision systems for different systems. So research can be there, but don't go into the dotted orange line towards the artificial innovation. So if the depth of AI is rather where the reliability is rather low medium, and the strength of AI is more on accuracy and speed, it is very well suited for your research on decision support systems. Earlier algorithms around DSS can be very useful. If you push that, if someday the depth of AI becomes more reliable, hallucination can be controlled, managed, or eliminated, then the strength of AI can go up and you can create more decision systems. For example, if you are having an automated fridge, which will make a decision, I will order milk or not. Today, it's very difficult because you might have emptied the fridge because you are going to Pondicherry. Now, suddenly your system goes and orders milk and you get some 5 packets of milk and some vegetables which you didn't want. So decision systems are harder to make. But with AI, it could be a little bit more easier to implement. So innovation by all it means, you can help AI, it can help you in doing the problem and opportunities and market research, the data management, consumer management, testing, validation, prototyping, all that middle part can be done as well. And at the end of it, you can do it much faster and with much more accuracy. Pharma is a classic example. The 10, 12 years of development cycle can be crunched to 2 years, right? So that's what mRNA vaccine was all about during COVID time. So it is still in its infancy. At all its best, you can think of it as a complementary innovation at this point of time, where researchers and innovators will work with generative AI. Please remember, you are the master, AI is the slave, and this complementary innovation can definitely help. There is no doubt that AI will help, but as long as you manage the whole thing. So why does TEMS help? Just to continue where 𝗜𝗘𝗘 left, TEMS is where development of technology and application of technology comes in. If you are a researcher, young researcher, a senior researcher, young industry person, it doesn't matter. On both sides, TEMS can help. Whether you're into research, innovation, startup, accelerating, prototyping, skill development, or you're into entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, leadership, management, engineering, road mapping, policy management, all this is in play as thing. Like I said, whatever is your role, whether you're in academia, whether you're in industry, like 𝗜𝗘𝗘 said, there's something for everyone. If there is not something, we will make it together as well. So this is where I want you to say thank you. This is TEMS 75th year as we speak, and surviving 75 years is no joke for anybody. I think TEMS has been doing fantastic, and we are doing, it will also help you build your own future-proof skills as per the World Economic Forum. So TEMS can help you do that as well, so that you can become a much more productive person and into the society as well, right? Which means a lot of people think growth is like this in their career, but most growth is a red line because there is no learning supporting the red line after your first graduation and so on. So TEMS can help you that learning as well, while you can do a lot of things to create impact. So couple of things. IEEE has a membership, as you all know. I call it the passive membership. You get a newsletter, you get a spectrum, you get some paper, you do, pull kind of a mechanism. But if you become part of a proactive mindset, you should be part of a society like TEMS. Then you can do things, you can volunteer. Some of the conferences that 𝗜𝗘𝗘 talked about, you can arrange a session, you can bring some speakers in. This session takes a lot of skill to put this together. Bringing together 100 people is no joke. And getting the right timing, right things, everything going is a fantastic thing. So being passive is not a problem, but being proactive and active in IEEE through a society, and this society is one of those unique like ProComm, which is cutting across. So I invite you to join TEMS, because a lot of things are changing around us. And as Jack Welch said, if the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near. So I think we need to catch up, and TEMS can help you catch up as well, because education, experience, and expertise does not give you what TEMS gives you. What TEMS gives you is exposure, and exposure is the one that you need to manage the future. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all in TEMS, and hopefully in person as well. We have some events planned in the second half of the year. We will be part of ISTAS as well. So hope to see you all again in some context or the other. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. �11𝗓𝗓, for formally inaugurating ProTalk series and providing an insightful and inspiring keynote address. Mini ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhindra, as usual. You have really made people sit till the end. I think only very few have left, which is okay. Less than 10.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Both of you, 𝗑𝗏𝗧𝗧, okay, we are listening to you. I mean, at least I am listening to you for the first time, though I had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Sudhindra earlier also, as usual. Yeah, it was a wonderful start, and I'm sure that we will be coming to you for more support in the coming days also, both of you.
Yeah.
We will be privileged
You
to
had
support.
a great session. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now let's move on to the interactive Q&A session. Participants who wish to ask any questions may kindly raise your virtual hand or type your questions in the chat. Yes. Ryan, you may proceed.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, so loved your talk today. So the most striking part of your talk that I loved is like about how innovation comes, like the big the problem, the big the solution, or like the. So I just wanted to ask about that topic, like how can we identify whether a problem is like big or not? Like suppose usually when we like find out a problem, we always mark it as a big one, right? Like something valuable to us. So the problem is like we always think it's a big one, and when we look after and if we just go into it, we find that it's a small one, or there's a solution already for it, or we may come up with a solution, but still it may be there. So is there any I don't know if it's there, but any specific way to find out whether your problem will have a great impact or not?
So it's a well-known thing that the problem is the problem. Okay, and it's also a well-known thing that everybody thinks their problem is the best problem because they came up with it. So it's like that's why 90% of the startups fail, not because they are dumb people running the startup. They are building what nobody wants, and what nobody wants is the usefulness, right? So on an average in a supermarket, you have 41 kinds of shampoos. I checked 3 years ago. And neither of us or anybody in this universe would go and buy one by one because somebody made it. You buy that one shampoo that you like, and maybe guys are even worse. They just buy what is 1 + 1 free because it gives you 2 for one price, So they're happy with that. Maybe somebody says, I want aloe vera in it, I want jeera in it, I want something else in it. So they decide what is useful. But to get that utility, you have to answer the question upfront. Who is having this problem? Who is willing to pay for this solution if you solve it well? So that is a starting point. Now, the glamorous part is not that. The glamorous part is the solution part. So people very quickly move. And that's where the problem becomes worse because you are creating a medicine for a disease that doesn't exist. Now, if you go ahead and do that, you have a disease. Now you create a problem. Which you cannot sell your medicine for. So you start creating a disease. So in innovation, it is important to know you discover a problem, you invent a solution. Now, if you do not do that sequence correctly, you will invent a problem and nobody will buy that product at all. So validating the problem is never good enough. It's never enough at all. The entire world, companies who are successful do that well. And that's the key to know where the problem is. And if you think a problem is valid for a doctor, go and talk to 25 doctors. Don't think that the 25 doctors will that they will like your problem. Maybe it's a very different problem. When I was in Volvo, I'll give you one short example. I created I thought brightness of the tail lamp of trucks is a problem. So I made a prototype of brighter tail lamp lights for a truck for mines. And luckily I met the mine owner, and he in 2 minutes told me, that is not my problem. Your tail lamp breaks. That is my problem. So he said, if you make it brighter, my room will be brighter because I've removed every of your tail lamp in my room. So validating the problem is even more important rather than, like you rightly said, assuming my problem is big. Then we'll be in the failure part of the story.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Yes, Megha.
You may.
Hello, sir. My name is Megha.
Hi, Mekha.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. I'm a robotics student. Right now, I'm third year. So I have actually trained with YOLO models. So what we do is we do take pre-trained, or we don't take pre-trained models, but I like to work with data sets that's already available, but also that have clinical validity to them. Like you said about the, finding tumors. So I actually work with the professor to do something like that. Cannot disclose all of the informations, but what I want to know is how to evaluate whether this is a good project or the seed to, for innovation that becomes a product or a startup. Because this is
Yeah.
something like replaces lab technicians, their work, right?
See, when technology changes, there will be something that moves out and there will be something that comes in, whether it's a calculator, whether it's a computer, whether it is a lab-based sample testing or self-measurement of blood pressure and glucose. So the key to your question is, a lot of things which we can do, we do not need to do. So I always, for you to remember, I said, don't Nike. Don't just do it because you can do it. There are a lot of things you can do which are useless. So the way to do the can versus should is, if it is meant for doctors, the doctor should say, this is what I like. If it is meant for hospital management who run the hospital, they should say, this is what I want. So the ability to find the potential customer early, if you know the problem is, it's very easy to find. Okay, so when it is easy to find, you need to get that not only the solution, even the problem as such. So the impact is not about how many people will go out of job or how many people will not be able to do. The whole idea is nowadays X-rays are not used. X-rays will not be used any further. But the ability to give more information, because I work with Philips, for example, you can understand sometimes they do things which are very modern. GE will also do. But what they try to do is, how is GE solution different solution? For that, they go to radiologists, they go to doctors, they go to hospitals and get it validated. So once I was working with CMC Vellore, it was the same thing. So we were trying to do something for a gynecological instrument, and the doctors had said that we need this. So you need to get that validation, Mekha.
Okay, sir, that's very helpful. But also, sir, I also worked with Kala embedded system control systems. So from what I want you to tell me, like, can you let me give some low-cost hardware problem statements which I as a student can work on? Innovative ideas. Do you have any problem statements you can share with?
I would request Mosiki to answer because I am not equipped to do that.
Okay,
I only
sir.
can tell you before Mosiki starts, go to SIH, the Smart India Hackathon website, but let Mosiki speak.
Yeah, so she's Megha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you are asking about problem statements, right?
Yeah,
So that
something
is,
like low, which doesn't cost much. No, low cost, but it needs something like I can work as a project.
yes.
It needs an impact on like how this are said on the humanity side. So do you have anything to suggest us?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I will of course suggest something to you, but then I would also like you to think about it, give it a thought how you can create it, because innovation is something that we always, we want younger generation to come up with innovative ideas and new ideas. So framing a problem is a very important part of your work. So once you frame a problem, like Sudhindra sir has mentioned in his presentation, to frame a problem is very important, right? And then comes the solution. But since you're asking for a problem statement, I can tell you something about it. That is, you could devise something called paper sensors. There's something called paper sensors, which are very low cost sensors, and you could use those sensors to check for water quality. I mean, safe water, right? So safe drinking water, in order to test it, you need very expensive instruments, but there's something called the paper sensor that you could use, which is a low cost device. You could use it for testing water quality. That is one. Secondly, you could also think of a solution, a non-invasive solution of testing body parameters of a person, because people who are in far-off regions, say in the rural areas, they do not have access to medical facilities, right? So you could also devise sensors that are non-invasive, and you could test your parameters. Yeah, so you could think on those lines.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, we have thought a lot about this. Something like related to glucose. What if we can replace the glucose strip, something with cheaper?
Yes, so there are some solutions. Maybe if you could reach out to me, I'll leave my email ID here, because it's going to take a lot more discussion. I can give you some pathways. So I'll leave my email ID in the chat box. Please do connect with me. I will share some solutions which are halfway through, and probably you can work on them, right? There are some MEMS devices that are low-cost solutions. So please reach out to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Any further questions? So
I have one request to all of you. If you liked something, if you liked some concepts, some particular point, some particular idea that was mentioned either by me or 𝗲𝗍𝒃 or during the discussion, this is again a part of how you build your own professional success roadmap. If you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. And once you're LinkedIn, start writing posts about, we had this, ProTalk series, and this is the concept that we heard, which made sense to me. So just write 10 lines. Just set a target for yourself that you will write 10 lines, and then you can start making it a regular thing, that if you like 3 points, for example, from this session, you got 3 weeks of content, for example. So that is one thing that you can do it.
So thank you everyone for your thoughtful questions and active participation. We also extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. 𝗍𝗘𝗘 for patiently addressing all the queries and making this session truly engaging. Now,
Bridget, one more thing before we conclude. Please take a photograph. We forgot that.
so everyone,
Sorry for the last minute thing, but I think please everybody switch on their camera and please take a photograph. Sorry.
everyone, please turn on your cameras.
Minnie, your video is off now.
Sorry.
Requesting everybody.
Somebody is taking? Robin?
Yes, ma'am. I'm taking it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, please continue. Sorry.
By the way, Robin is our secretary.
Hi, Robin. Nice to see you.
Hello, Robin.
Same here, ma'am. Same here.
Now, as a token of our heartfelt appreciation for their invaluable contributions to today's program, the IEEE ProComm-TEMS Kerala Joint Chapter is honored to present digital mementos to our esteemed speakers, Dr. 𝗍𝗘𝗘𝗘 and Dr. 𝗍𝗘𝗘𝗘, in recognition of their inspiring sessions and continued support. Let's give.
Wow, it's so nice.
Thank you so much.
It's very nice. Nice innovation.
So thank you so much.
Madam, do we have to fill any feedback form for certification or anything
Link of
else?
attendance and evaluation feedback has now been shared in the chat. Your feedback is extremely valuable to us, so please fill it. And also ensure that you submit the form before leaving the meeting so that you get the e-participation certificate. And now, as we come to the close of this memorable inaugural edition of ProTalk series, I now invite Mr. Robin Francis, Secretary of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Kerala Joint Chapter, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you.
Thank you, ภิ𝗘𝗘. Thank you, everyone. So good evening all. Myself, Robin Francis. I'm the Secretary of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Joint Chapter Kerala. So as we come to a close of this insightful inaugural section of our ProTalk series, where conversations that inspire is the tagline we have put forward for the privilege. So it was my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Joint Chapter Kerala. First and foremost, I would like to extend heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. 𝗜𝗘𝗘𝗘, President IEEE TEMS, for delivering an inspiring and thoughtful section. I think AI for research and innovation, I thought it will be something like for academic perspective or not. But hearing the section for the first time, I think it was so insightful because knowing the problem, knowing the best problem is the best solutions. So that point I came to know. And thank you so much, sir. It was so inspiring and eye-touching so that I can understand, or the students or the participants could understand how to curate a good problem and how to solve that solution for the inspiration. And also I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. 𝗜𝗘𝗘𝗘, Secretary IEEE TEMS, for enriching the introductory talk on transforming enterprise to influence. Your words beautifully set the tone for today's session, encouraging us to think beyond the knowledge towards impact and influence. That was also so nice to hear. And so many people to thank here, Mini ma'am, Sunitha ma'am, all the SLT, the volunteers, especially the SBs like Government College of Engineering, Thrissur, MEES, St. Gates, TOCH, for their valuable support and collaboration throughout the event, making it a successful. I hope so, because everyone would be delighted to have the notes the sessions have. So delighted to see 100+ participants throughout the event. And finally, I extend a warm thanks to all your participants for your active presence and enthusiasm. I was at a point of time, I was thinking like maybe the Q&A will go for another half an hour, but thanks for that, concluding in a very thankful way. I hope today's talk was inspiring. Everyone got to explore the possibility of AI in research, academic, and innovation. With that, we look forward for your continued participation in the upcoming series of ProTalk. And thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody. Nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, 𝗑𝗘𝗘 and Sudhitra sir.
Thank you,
Thank
Sunitha.
you.
Thank
It
you,
was a
Mini.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Well done, Brigitte.
Yeah.
With that,
Thank you, Robin.
the inaugural edition
Thank
of
you,
ProTalk
participants.
All the
is on
best for the next edition as well. Thank you.
And a special thanks to our Dr. 𝗜𝗘𝗘𝗘 sir, our most senior member of Kerala section, for joining throughout.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your support and motivating us and inspiring us.
Thank
Thank you.
you, sir.
behalf of IEEE ProComm-TEMS Kerala Joint Chapter. I extend our sincere gratitude to our distinguished speakers, collaborators, and each one of you for being a part of today's program. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to welcoming you to many more inspiring sessions in the ProTalk series. So have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So looking forward for more such conversations in this series. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you all. Have a good night.